Hi, and welcome to Berry Aftercare. I'm very excited to be with you today. And I'm just going to change things up a little bit here and do a little commercial at the beginning and say if you are not a part of Berry Aftercare, the entire program, which is designed to help post ops stay on track by giving you all kinds of information that you're not going to get at your support groups, that you're not going to get in your bariatric education, because this is stuff about life and maintaining motivation and self-esteem and the emotional psychological stuff. So please check into www.bariaftercare.com and check out all of the aspects of the Bariatric Care program. The podcast, Bariatric Care, which hopefully you're listening to right now, is a part of the Bariatric Care program. And I'm excited to talk about tonight's topic, which is going the extra mile for yourself, so you can stay on track over the holidays. I know it's kind of trite to talk about, life hacks for the holidays and, 12 tips to get through that. But you know what? The holidays are tough. It's tough enough to stay on track as a post op with all of the behaviors, right? The bariatric behaviors that you've got to follow all throughout the year. But you throw in the stress and the tension and the busyness and the additional ugh, that goes along with the holidays, and it can become even more difficult to stay on track during the holidays with your behaviors and your exercise and your eating the way you're supposed to eat and all the things that bariatric patients are tasked to do. Now, if you've listened to me much in the past, you know that I'm not one for excuses. I refer to myself as being very fair and very firm, meaning I do not buy excuses. And to me, the holidays are not an excuse to go off the rails, because I want you to remember, when you make the decision to have bariatric surgery, part of that decision is making an agreement to do certain things. Let me take this idea out of the realm of bariatric surgery for just a minute. When you accept a position at a company, when you take a job, not only are you agreeing to accept the position, but you're accepting all of the things that go along with the position. For example, there's a usually a start time at a job. So you're saying, "Yeah, I want the job, but I'm also making the agreement by taking the job to be there on time. I'm agreeing to give you this many hours of work every week in exchange for pay. I'm agreeing to, if there's a dress code, I'm agreeing to the dress code. Perhaps you have to wear a uniform. If there's a no potty mouth clause at your job, then you got to watch the potty mouth. Whatever the culture of your job entails and the rules and whatever, you agree to those guidelines, to those rules when you accept the position. Now, it's not that there are rules that you have to follow or you're going to be fired after bariatric surgery. Nobody's going to take your surgery away from you, give you the other half of your stomach back if you've had the sleeve. But when you make a decision to have bariatric surgery, you are in essence agreeing to the bariatric basics, right? The bariatrics. That's a new one, even on me. The bariatric basics include things like, when you eat your protein first. You're supposed to eat every 3 to 4 hours. You start with protein first. You eat a lot of veggies. You eat healthy fruits. You minimize the processed foods, blah, blah, blah. But it's also making sure you increase your exercise. It's informing other people that there are certain places that are not safe for you to go when it comes to food, all the things that you're taught about in the preparation process. So you've agreed to those things. And if you are out of the honeymoon phase at all, and for a lot of people, even when you're still in that honeymoon phase, you find out in a darn hurry that those things you agreed to before surgery are not easy. Well, guess what? After the honeymoon stage, adhering to the behavior changes, the lifestyle that you have to maintain if you want to keep your weight at a healthy level. That's very difficult after the honeymoon. And add the holidays to it, and it can be even more stressful. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I literally am going to give you a list of holiday hacks or ideas for you to go the extra mile. So if you're putting in 80% effort, on any given day to following through with the bariatric lifestyle, I want you to put in 110% during the holidays because it's just that much more difficult. So here's a list of things that hopefully will help you through November and throughout December into the new year. And we'll worry about the new year when that comes. But for right now, let's focus on each and every day. You can only do one day at a time anyway. But these are holiday hacks, all right? So start now by reminding yourself this is the first one of the reasons that you chose to have bariatric surgery in the first place. In other words, review what I always refer to as your meaningful matters. What is so meaningful in your life that you decided that having weight loss surgery would be that important? It's meaningful that you are off medication so that your health improves, so that you're able to have more time with your loved ones, or you're able to do more exciting things, or you're able to walk on your own, or whatever your reasons. What was so meaningful at the beginning of this journey, and you may be at the beginning of your journey still, but wherever you're at in this journey, what was so meaningful? What mattered to you so much that you said, I have to get this weight off? And if having weight loss surgery is what will help me do it, I'm going to do it because these things are so meaningful in my life. This list of things matters so much to me. So remind yourself, because the idea behind that is if you focus on what really matters to you and you compare eating something that's going to last for maybe 10 minutes to that overall meaningful matter, hopefully that's more important to you than 10 minutes of sensory pleasure. Hopefully, right? So remind yourself of the reasons you had weight loss surgery in the beginning, why, your whys, and keep those in mind as you go through this season. Because you don't want to set yourself back 20 pounds because then you have to work that much harder after the holidays. So we want to stay on track through the holidays. I would also set some sticky notes everywhere you need to set them. You might need them in your bathroom, you might need them in the refrigerator, you might need them in the cupboards, you might need them in your car, on your desk, wherever you need them, put them and have some kind of a message to yourself that says something to the effect of, my health is more important than happy taste buds. You figure out what you want to put on your sticky notes, but have reminders everywhere that yes, you may have holiday treats that are your favorites that you grew up on that have sentimental value to you and, oh my goodness, are the most magnificent tasting things in the world. But your health, which truly is health is wealth, right? Being healthy makes me the richest person on the planet because without my health, as you may already know, because maybe your health was way, way worse before you had surgery and lost some weight. That is not a pleasant way to live, right? That is not the feeling of being rich with life. So make some sticky notes just to remind you that the holidays are not a reason to come up with all kinds of excuses to eat what you want. Last week on the Bariatric Care videos, I talked about all these different kinds of challenges that you can do. And I want to reinforce that idea today. And I would set them up for 5 days or 7 days or through the end of November and then start some new ones or whatever. But these short tasks or challenges, especially if you do them with a group, can really help you stay focused on some of the things that are the most difficult to avoid during the holidays. For example, you may set a 7 day or till the end of November uh, challenge for no snacks between your eating experiences. And as a bariatric patient, you know your eating experiences are every 3 to 4 hours. Absolutely nothing in your mouth between those eating adventures, right? And make them adventurous by having good food during your eating times. Always, always, always the protein first, right? So maybe set a challenge that for sure through the end of November, protein first, protein first, protein first, right? Or you may have a challenge that says no added sugar until Thanksgiving Day, when I will give myself permission to eat blank. Maybe a piece of pie or a piece of cake, or now again, that depends on you and you have to know you. If you can have a slice of pumpkin pie or you can have a small dessert that's your favorite, then do it. But only if you can stop after that. If you eat part of your dessert or whatever, and all of a sudden it's like the floodgates are open and you're allowing yourself to eat anything, then don't do it. It's not worth it. It may feel like it in the moment, but you've probably had experiences where you're like, I don't care right now. I'm just doing it. And then you regret it. And you know the negative cycle that can start. So you figure it out, right? Maybe do a challenge that says 15 or more minutes of exercise every single day between now and the end of November or whatever your designated time is. Set yourself up for success. You've got to go the extra mile. Sometimes it's like if you have a deadline at work or if you have a big project at work, maybe you usually, sometimes you work 8.5 hours a day, but right now it's like, you know what? There's a big bonus for all of us at the end of this. So we're going to plug away and we might do 10-hour days. All right, here's a good one. This is a good one. It's positive, it's motivating, it's self motivating, but keep a win list on your phone or on a piece of paper next to you. A win list of all the things related to your bariatric lifestyle, exercise, eating every 3 to 4 hours, avoiding eating between meals, no added sugar, all the things, right? Keep a win list of what you did well. It doesn't have to be limited to your bariatric lifestyle, but for sure include those things. It can be also, things you did out of the kindness of your heart for somebody else. But keep a win list and look at it at the end of the day and go, you know what? I am really impressed with myself today. And I'm going to see how great my win list can be tomorrow if I can match today and set up your own little mini challenges. But by doing that and by looking at the things you're doing well, it is self motivating. So keep that list maybe on your phone. Now, here's a simple one, or it sounds simple, right? Breathe a lot. Now, we breathe all day, every day, but sometimes, especially during times of stress, our breathing gets very shallow. Calming breath helps us slow down, and when we slow down, we make better decisions. So make it a point to do more deep breathing. Just take a minute and just give yourself permission to take that extra minute for yourself to get composure, long inhales, even longer exhales. When your exhales are longer than your inhales, it slows your whole system down, and that's a positive thing when it comes to making decisions, which may include food decisions. Another really great thing to do to help you relax, again, it's a stressful time, is take a hot bath, schedule a massage, get mini massages. You know, do what you need to do to stay as relaxed as you can. If you practice yoga, do some yin yoga. It's very slow, or do some restorative yoga. You hardly have to move and you're propped up by all these pillows and it's very relaxing. So take some time for relaxation. On the other hand, be productive when you're being productive. Do some things that can make your time at work, because we often have additional things that we have to do during the holidays: shop, wrap. I'm not going to say cook because we're going to save that for later. But there are a lot of maybe events or holiday events or parties or gatherings with friends and family. So there's a lot more time sucking things, not to mention if you've got kids or grandkids, a lot of times there's programs at school or at church or whatever. So stress, right? So do some things to make your time more productive when you are working. Get the shopping apps off your phone. What a time suck, right? Take them off your phone. Put them back on in January if you want, but get them off for now. Make a list of the gifts you want to get them, and get them wrapped. Be done with it. I honest to God, this is the first time I have done this, and I wish I'd have done it before, but gift wrapping and all that buying gifts and the stress related to the last minute and who did I forget and blah, blah, blah. And is it even with all the grandkids? I made a list in October or the beginning of November. I can't remember. I ordered all that stuff and I have it all wrapped. When a package comes in, I find 5 minutes to go wrap it because the holidays, I hate that sitting for hours, the night before the family's going to be around or whatever. It's just stressful and I don't enjoy a lot of the time. So I'm just doing it as I go. Work smarter, not harder. Another thing you can do to avoid distractions, especially when it comes to our phones, is turn off the notifications. So you're not tempted to like, oh, look, I just got a notification. And then you spend the next 30 minutes looking at Instagram. So avoid distractions. Get your work done when you're working. Take breaks, but instead of taking breaks and walking to the kitchen or the cabinet or the refrigerator, go outside or do some stretching and bending. Use your smartwatch if you have one or your phone to remind you get up every hour, stretch. It helps keep us calmer. Another great thing to do is if you have an office where you're alone or you can wear earbuds or when you're doing work at home or you're on your computer, put on some soft music in the background. It literally will bring your system to a calmer state and you will just feel better. You'll respond to people better, you'll treat yourself better, and it's a win win for everybody. And if you have the opportunity, engage in a power nap here and there. I have become a connoisseur of power naps. I sit here in this chair, this same chair, which is wonderful, and I love it. And I have windows on 3 walls around me, and it's beautiful and it's glorious. And I'm super happy here. But sitting all day, and I do get up every hour, by the way. My phone reminds me, and I just do. I get tired sitting in my very cozy chair in my very warm office with the sun coming in. And if I have 15 minutes between sessions or between meetings, I rock this recliner back and I am out. I set my timer for 2 minutes shorter than the time I have, and I do a power nap, and it's a nice thing to do. I saw this on some site earlier, and I wanted to share this with you. This is a great hack, right? Practice, and this is what it was said on their app. Practice the world's simplest meal math. Practice the world's simplest meal math. And this is bariatric living at its finest, right? Protein plus veggies plus whole grains equal meal math. And that's what you want to do as a bariatric patient anyway. So I just thought that was a fun way to put it. I'm going to do my meal math now. Do I have my protein? Do I have my veggies? Do I have whole grains? Speaking of veggies, when you are at holiday dinners, make sure you have your protein first and then double up on your veggies. Fill that plate with veggies so your plate looks really, really, really full. And then maybe take a dollop of this or a dollop of that so you don't feel deprived of the mashed potatoes or the stuffing or the cranberries or the whatever. But your plate looks as full as everybody else because you have a lot of veggies piled up on that plate. And you'll get full, you'll get that Thanksgiving fullness, and yet you won't have destroyed your bariatric healthy lifestyle. So double and triple up on those veggies after your protein, of course. Another thing is to be prepared. Don't use the excuse that everybody else was eating and I didn't have anything. Find some protein bars that, get some mint protein bars. They are out there. And make sure you have them with you. So you feel like you're having the minty holiday treat like everybody else is, but you stay on track with your program. What's more important to you? Your life, your healthy life, or 5 minutes of tasty temptations that are going to send you into a mental health spin, or could, I shouldn't say will. But oh my God, why did I do that? And then we feel bad. Why do that? We don't need to do that. Keep yourself prepared. Make sure you have protein drinks. Make sure you have protein bars. Keep them in your car. Keep them in your purse. Keep them in your pockets. Keep them in your desk drawers so that wherever you go, you have a healthy option and you don't have to make excuses. Ah, I talked to some people today and I'm like, oh my God, my patience has been wearing a little thin with excuses. I'm eating on the run. I just don't have. And so I've been telling people how much. Oh, I eat for convenience. How much more convenient is it to drive through and get fast food or open some Greek yogurt that you have at your office? How much more convenient is it to drive through a place where you have to sit in line or open a protein bar? Don't let yourself make excuses, which is another one of the holiday hacks. Call yourself out and ask people who are in your circle to call you out on your excuses and ask their permission for you to do the same for them. It's not being mean, it's being helpful. It's being a good friend. It's being the best kind of support, loving and caring, right? Use your personal protection plan. Several weeks ago, I talked about this 4-part personal protection plan. You can download it and prepare yours by going to my website, which is www.conniestapletonphd.com. There are all kinds of free downloads for you. That personal protection plan, when you get overwhelmed with emotions, maybe you're meeting family and there's a lot of emotions that come up, or you're going to grandma's house and it brings up a lot of emotions, and you just are like, where's the food? I just need to eat to feel better. Have your protection plan on your phone and look at it so you have some healthy alternatives for coping skills. And really, really bolster your support people. Ramp up the support. Ask your friends, ask your support people. When I go to my family's house, I often get overwhelmed with emotions, and sometimes I get angry because they say things that blah, blah, blah. Can I call you if I need you? Can I text you? Can I, you know, reach out to you if I'm having a hard time? And volunteer to do the same for your friends. Support is critical always, but especially if we know we're going into situations where there are additional triggers, emotional triggers, there's definitely going to be more food triggers. So set yourself up for staying on track. If there are certain foods you love and you want to eat, then prepare and plan for that and make sure that you give yourself permission and limits. I'm going to try 3 desserts. So when I get there and there's 30 to choose from, I'm going to try 3. That's my boundary. I'm giving myself permission to indulge in moderation. Set yourself up for success. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is keeping your environment safe. Meaning, if you're having people to your own home, you can say, please do not bring any desserts. Please do not bring, whatever, or don't bring anything at all. I'll provide everything. That way you're in charge of what is being served. Now, my daughters and I, and my son and my husband and the in-laws, we have all decided none of us need 6 desserts. That's just ridiculous. It's not an imperative or a law or a rule that you bake 75 kinds of cookies on the holidays. It does not need to happen. The number one thing you can do to keep yourself safe this year is take charge of your environment. So, in my home, and my whole family is in agreement about this, we'll have 2 desserts, right? We'll have a pumpkin pie, and we may have somebody else may make another dessert. So we may have 2 desserts. We don't bake cookies for Christmas. There is no rule that says you have to bake what grandma made and what great grandma made, and that's 27 generations deep. It doesn't need to happen. You don't need it, and neither does anybody else. If you're bound and determined to bake some things, limit it in number. I will make 2 desserts, or I will make 3 kinds of cookies. Make the kinds you personally don't like. Keep your environment safe. I know maybe you have grandkids and you want to bake cookies with them. Whatever you choose to do is fine, but set it up so that you keep yourself safe. I don't know exactly what that looks like for you, but if I'm going to bake, a lot of times I'll bake things I don't like, or I just choose not to bake. It's not a requirement. So, another idea is to substitute some of your old favorite recipes with healthier versions of that recipe. You can use Greek yogurt instead of sour cream or cream cheese. Find the healthier versions. Use cauliflower rice in dishes instead of white rice. Find ways to make your dishes healthier, right? And remember, you don't need to serve enough food for 50 people when you're going to have 6 people for your meal. Just cut back. Make it a healthy and nutritious meal for everybody, because we all need that, right? And the last thing is to really remember, this is your health. This is your life. Truly, your health means your life. If you don't have your health, it means, you know, you're cutting short the probability of your lifespan, and that's the bottom line. You can enjoy food, you can make delicious, nutritious, tasty food and really enjoy it without making it an over the top affair. Keep yourself safe. Your health, your responsibility. It's your responsibility to set yourself up for health if you're going to somebody else's house too, even if that means you take your own food. So you choose, right? You choose. But these are some good ways to bolster your resilience, your resistance to additional temptations through the holiday season. So make the best of it, enjoy it, and happy Thanksgiving. It's not this week, but happy Thanksgiving anyway. Make every day a day of thanks. And I will see you next week, my friends. Make it a good one.